Hi, everybody. Welcome to the newest episode of the Taco Tuesday podcast. This is Brandon.
And this is Jake.
There we go. Just wanted to, kick this thing off right without me saying both me and Jake's names and Jake not saying anything. Because we've already been through like 17 takes and I've screwed up every single one of them.
Yeah, please don't fuck this up again, man.
I'm trying to keep it together. We got sponsors that we don't want to piss off.
We've got sponsors. We've got stuff to talk about. We've got a lot of stuff on the agenda for today.
We have things. We have a few. Things.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? You feeling better after your vacation?
I feel rested. I traveled to Argentina, which is why I couldn't be on the show, of course.
I swear.
Yeah.
You rich people and your money.
I know, man. It's rough, It's rough.
Well,
no, I feel good, man.
Well, I'm happy to have you back. Doing the episode last week, I did it with my buddy Johnny, but it just did not feel the same.
It's not. Johnny was one of our first guests.
Yeah, he was our second guest.
Second guest, yep. And he's great. But it's not me.
That is true.
Sure. Sorry,
it says not Jake on his birth certificate.
Yeah, right.
It's like, definitely not Jake. So, I like talking to Johnny. That's why he's my boy.
Right.
But doing the podcast, it didn't feel like the Taco Tuesday podcast. So
it wasn't.
Right. So I'm happy to have you back, man.
Thank you.
Now
it's good to be back.
It feels like it feels like home. It feels like home.
I feel that too.
We're at my house and I feel out of place because I'm in jeans and a t-shirt and you look like you are broadcasting like college football or something. Like
I know it's weird.
You're all dressed up.
So real quick though, Brandon, nobody that's listening can see what I look like.
That's why I have to illustrate with the spoken word.
That's true. I went out with a lady before the podcast. I was just trying to look nice, man.
Did you say a lady or the lady?
I said a lady.
Okay, all right.
But I don't know. She's pretty cool. I enjoy her. I don't fucking know what's going on anymore. Hey. I seriously, I just have a go with the flow philosophy. But if she likes me back, then I could see it being something serious potentially.
Good,
but
I know this is something that I've been
dating a lot, and I've and the thing is that all the women that I've dated, I hope none of them hear this because I think that it may seem kind of, it may be something that somebody might get offended by, but I tried to date women that I could. I'm fucking 34 years old, man. I'm trying to see if there's something.
You're almost
that I could,
at the end.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking dying right now.
Yeah.
They all kind of had, all of the women that I've dated recently have had their qualities that I liked, and then some things that I didn't. But I probably wouldn't date them if I didn't think that possibly there could be something.
Right.
Seriously, I'm not just going out to
whatever sticks.
Spend my money.
Right.
So
well, I'm
but
glad
she's a cool
I'm,
chick, man. She's fun.
Good. I'm glad because you've been talking about the dating scene for a while and how you want something to pick up. Just been. I was gonna say putting your heart out
but it
there.
wasn't. I was gonna say I've been dating all these bitches, but that's not true. It's not, and it's not me. That's not something that Jake McDowell says.
That's right. You look real serious right now.
I feel very conflicted. The comedian in me wanted me to just say it, but then I was like, that's not...
I can't do it. That's not right.
So real quick, I did a show last Thursday, and Chris Schlichting was on the show. And after my set, I went outside.
Chris Schlichting, beautiful mustache.
Very beautiful. Beautiful man.
Majestic,
I like
if you will. Yeah.
Yeah. But I said something during my set And when I went outside, Chris was like, "Hey man, can I give you some advice?" I was like, "Sure." He's like, "That one thing you said, don't say that." And I was like, "All right, Chris Schlichting, I won't say that." He's like, "It's just not you, you know, like you're doing this one thing and what you said." I don't want to say the joke because it's not important, but
you don't want to give your magic away.
What he's like, what you said and then you know what you're going for are two different things. So don't say that anymore. And I was like, and normally if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, "Fuck you! I'm going to say what I want." But Chris Schlichting is a very good comedian, and the point he made was a good point. So I've been I guess the point in all that is I've been trying to be more conscious of what I say, and is it a reflection of who I am? And just calling women bitches is not who I am, ladies.
Real smooth there at the end.
Thanks.
Good stuff.
I'm just trying to be myself, Brandon.
Absolutely. Bitches ain't you. No. So
what's going on? We have
okay. I'm gonna start by bleeding into last week's episode a little bit.
Okay.
Our friend Julie Burns,
hi Julie,
writer from Waterloo.
Yeah.
Fantastic. She posed a question to the both of us, and you were not here to answer, so I would like to pose that question to you now.
Okay.
Comedic inspirations. Who did you look up to that kind of forced you down the road of making people giggle at your expense?
You know, so there's like, I don't know, I think there's so many. I thought about this question a little bit, and I wrote some down. I'll remember like certain jokes.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know the guy's name. His name was Ryan something, who I thought was a really funny dude. But I just remember he had this joke about how when you are using the restroom, specifically number 2, you are not in a position of power. And
okay.
And he said, so
just like you're more open to attacks, is what he means?
Well, okay, so let me just tell the joke, or my recollection of the joke, I guess. So he walks into a bathroom, it's a single stall, like a one-person bathroom, right? The guy forgets to lock the door, and he walks in, makes eye contact with this man shitting, right?
Making the
and
deuce.
the guy shitting just looks up and says, "Hey, will you give me a minute, Chief?" And he reflects on that, saying, like, that's not the way that should have gone down.
Right.
You know? Like, that guy should have been real timid and been like, you know, give me it. But the guy just, like, maintained eye contact with him and was like, "Hey, give me a minute, Chief."
Right.
And that was it, you know? And
it's
I
like,
just
remember... I'm handling other business.
I just remember thinking, oh, my God, that joke's so funny, you know? Like, the way he delivered it, whatever.
Yeah. No, I can understand that fully.
I have tons of those, like, where I'm just like, oh, that was a great joke. Or, you know, the delivery, whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess some of...
As far as people, though, you're not like...
No, I have some, but I just think, like... I remember... So, I wrote down some people, but with the jokes thing, I remember, like, with certain jokes, I think, oh, that's what comedy can be. Like, comedy is so diverse, and, like, sometimes people just amaze me with how jokes happen, you know?
Absolutely. No, I did. There was a joke that you and I were talking about earlier that you were saying you were having trouble kind of getting off the ground, whatever.
Right.
And in instances like that, I've had the same thing where it's like I've got this idea, but I can't seem to get any more forward motion with it.
Right.
But then somebody else comes and looks at it a different way, like throws in like, we're talking about a city, let's throw in a population sign. I never would have thought of a population sign, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
Or little intricacies to the joke that kind of add to it. And I'm always thankful when somebody else comes at it from a different angle. I'm like, oh, thank you. Mind if I use that?
Yeah, just to get a breath of fresh air into a joke. And sometimes people even like help me think of. So I used to do this other joke that I thought was really great, but just I think it was a little too morbid for people. But it was about assisted suicide, and it was about how
that'll do it. Yeah.
Well, the joke was about how like the normal ways that you protest things that you don't like say abortion clinics, is that you threaten to bomb them, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that just wouldn't work in an assisted suicide clinic. You know, can you imagine like the receptionist coming out and being like, "Hey, we have a bomb threat. We need everybody to exit in a single file manner," and then just turning around and seeing everybody just still sitting there. You know,
he's like, "Oh, thank God."
One guy's like, "Hey, can I get a refund?" You know, I thought the joke was good, but like it never really hit. Like it would hit sometimes, it didn't hit a lot. But then somebody was like, "What about that as a sketch?" And I was like, "That would be a great sketch," like because then people can visualize, and it's not just me trying to paint a picture about people killing themselves,
Started off with like a couple people coming in and saying, "I tried to do it this way, I tried to do it that way," and ending it with some guy like, "I'm gonna bomb this whole fucking place." Everybody's like, "Oh, sweet Jesus,
thank you,
let's do this."
Right?
Yeah.
So.
No, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I feel like that could work during or through either avenue.
Yeah.
So whichever way you decide to go with that assisted suicide joke.
And sometimes you just need time to step away from a joke.
Let it marinate.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let me. We've gotten off track, but so these are some of the ones that I think were really influential. Some of these names are kind of controversial now. Some are dead. Here we go. Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, Joe Coy. Do you remember him?
Absolutely.
Oh, man, I love Joe Coy.
Joe Coy is doing a lot more hosting of shows now.
Is he?
Yeah. I don't know if he's
His
still
career,
doing
I don't think, really took off the way I kind of personally thought it should, but, it was... I liked him.
Absolutely. I think he's still doing the circuit, but for the most part, I've seen him hosting a few shows lately, so
really?
Which is still good.
Yeah.
Work is work.
Work. Jim Gaffigan.
Always good.
Yep.
I think he'll always have work because we'll always have food that he can talk about.
I think, like, his... one of the things I love about Jim Gaffigan, which is an underutilized thing, I think, for a lot of comics now, is just the ad-lib. Like, he utilizes those moments when it's quiet to just make, like, silly noises or something, and it just, like, it kind of brings everybody back.
Absolutely. It keeps you hooked.
People try to... I think, and myself included, like, people just try to force jokes, and jokes are great. That's what we do.
Yeah, jokes is why we're here. Yeah.
But, sometimes, you'll lose a crowd, and something silly like that can just bring everybody back and, like, I don't know. I think Chris Rock said you want people to laugh like every 15 seconds or something. Anything longer than that, people's minds will wander.
Absolutely.
So something like a little giggle or like a silly voice like he does, is great just to kind of... So that was one of the things that I remember like really liking about him. Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt, always gold.
Fantastic, man.
Have you seen his recent special?
I have not.
Man,
I heard. So our friend Todd Wilhite, Todd and Ian went to see the taping of that, right?
Really?
And
wow.
and like I love Todd. Todd doesn't like anything. Like he watches a lot of stand up,
Yeah.
But he doesn't really like many people, and he said that might have been the best comedy. Like set, special, whatever he's ever seen. So I was like, if Todd said that, it's probably pretty fucking great.
Well, I liked it because it was, I don't know, it gave you kind of a view into this man's world, even more so than his other specials, just because he went and
he
talked.
addresses his wife, right?
Yeah, he talked about his wife a little bit and really went into detail, not just her dying or her death, but the effect it had on him and his daughter.
Yeah.
And really kind of... He painted the picture that, there are those people that say, oh, you can't joke about this, you can't joke about that. And he didn't joke about his wife passing.
Right.
He joked about... or he... Not necessarily joked about. He put a humorous spin on just the way he and his daughter dealt with everything that happened in the aftermath,
right?
And just kind of painted this picture like, hey, you can still live after this, you can still have a life after this, and not let it consume your everyday and keep you from these things that made you a person before it all happened,
right?
And I think being somebody that has had to deal with depression or loss before, just hearing that come from somebody else sometimes can lift you out of your own kind of shit heap, I guess,
Yeah.
to kind of realize, like, okay,